That's it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave it with you.
Okay. So, guys, that's it. Let's beginning. And I gonna introduce myself first, and then I will choose one to do the same, and you can choose the other and follow the flow, right? So my name is Bruno. I'm 33 years old. I'm married. I I'm hosting here since I think for around 3 months, and for me it's it is really great to be here, because it was something that I really want to do, in order to use the language that I'm learning, that is English. And with this opportunity, I could find different people, make new friends, share experience. And for me, it's amazing to be part of this team. And um, I work at a freight forward company for almost 10 years. I'm going to there, and I'm a part of the collection team. So I'm the boring guy that call to the customers and try to make they pay, what they have open. Yeah. And that's it, guys. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And what about you, Luis? Can you introduce yourself, man?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Luis. I have 28. I'm living in Minas Gerais state in a city called Martin Campos. It's a small city with 10,000 inhabitants, almost everyone. It's from the same family, and I'm graduated in mechatronics engineer. I work with security, focus on network, and sometimes I am the people who restrict people access to Facebook or Instagram on the job. This is a part that I don't like too much in my work because I believe that it's better do not to put restrictions in everyone and trust in everyone's work. But sometimes I need to do this. I like a dog. I am a dog person. I have one. I like to ride a bike, and that's it. It was a good week, and it's a pleasure to be here with all you this Saturday. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Luis, for sharing your thoughts. It's a pleasure to have you here for us. And what about you, Miss Sarah?
Guys, so I'm thinking like Luis, it's almost my friend because we are always in the meeting together. So I'm Sarah. I'm a hostess here since April. Uh, my major is in business administration, but right now I'm studying for customer success, and I'm being here taking some private conversations as well. And I think that's it. I really like to read. I finished my second book in English. It was a real challenge for me, but I could make it. So I'm proud of myself. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm just having a nice day with you, and I hope you have fun with the conversation.
Thanks for sharing, Sarah. And congrats for finish your book. Very nice.
Yeah.
And what about you, Mr. Philip?
Yeah. I I have just decided to be part of this meeting because it talks about communication, and I feel that I really enjoy talking about this, and I learn a lot. So that's the reason I'm here. I'm from São Paulo, born and raised. I'm going to Santos today. That's another reason why I'm here, because tomorrow morning I have a race, a swimming race, 750 meters in São Vicente, trying to get back on races and everything. So, yeah, let's go.
Nice, man. Nice. Are you prepared for the race?
No.
Just to enjoy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice, nice. Thanks for sharing, man. So let's move to the second one. What is communication for you? Let's start with Philip. What do you think, man?
I think communication, it's like a package. And in order to send the package, there are a lot of things involved. The tone of voice, the words, the video itself, colors, your hair, beard, or your skin, your eyes, everything. So I think communication involves a lot of things, and also the other person or the audience. So if you send a package and if you're not delivering it to the exactly person or the exactly side that you want, then there is no communication.
Really nice, man.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Really nice words. And thanks for sharing. So in my opinion, communication is when you are trying to send a message, basically, but it can be a lot of different things that can impact in your communication. Sometimes if you have, for example, a different tone of voice, you can send a wrong message, and in my case, I have some experience, like when you are sending an email, and sometimes you are so you need to send the message right away, and you don't think a lot about what the words that you are putting in the message, and sometimes people, when we receive the message, they like the interpretation of the message is in a wrong way, so it can cause some issues about it, so that's the reason that we need to take care of when we are sending some message, it's a really complicated thing, but yeah, but basically that's it, in my opinion. And what about you, Sarah? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. For me, it is about what you say and what you don't say. People won't have the chance to know if you don't say, for sure, but sometimes if they know you well, they will understand that maybe something's wrong. I would like to work better on my communication, because sometimes I prefer to stay silent, and I think that that's not the right way to go, because when you don't say, you just accept everything, and yeah, I would say it's about the words you use, your body posture as well. You have to deliver something. If you are too quiet, or if you are, for example, a job interview, if you are shaking your hands, or you seem too nervous, it can be a wrong thing to do, a wrong message passed to other person. So I would say it's about, I agree with you. It's about the whole thing, the words, your body, your, sometimes you just give a look and people will understand. That happens with couples a lot. I'm not an expert, but I think that happens because a wife looks and the husband knows what means, and with the kids as well. So it's really something that it's part of our daily life, and we have to pay attention to it. That's my opinion.
Really nice words. Thanks for sharing, Sarah. And what about you, Mr. Luis? What do you think, man?
Well, I think that communication, I think that it's almost the most important skill that we can develop. I totally believe in communication and telecommunication because I work with this. I work with telecommunication and communication. And I totally agree with all you said when Philippe said about the package. When you are in the telecommunication, we really literally sent a package. And to start to send packages from one device to other device, we need to shake our hands between these devices. This is a process in telecommunication. And when we think about communication, well, all that we need is to communicate ourselves, Well, I don't know, but I like to say that talk and talk, for example, help me to communicate better, not just in English. Then I really believe in communication. It's the most important this skill that it's good to improve. And that's it.
Really nice, man. Really nice words. Thanks for sharing. And I want to know from you, Luis, about the third question. And it is, how can this impact your personal and professional life? How communication can impact both areas of our lives? What do you think about it?
Well, if I can't communicate, my work it's undone. All right. I maybe I could do all the things that I need to do, but if I'm not communicate this, it's like my work isn't unfinished. All right. I need always to understand what the clients are need, what the people are need. I need to fully understand this to do the right job. For example, working from home, it's always to hear something, to have something from someone, and I need to write or answer. And I try to, when I write, for example, I try to write everything for no doubts, and this is very important. And that's it.
Really nice, man. Thanks for sharing your opinion. And I agree with you. I think that communication is not just, say something. You need to listen as well, and it can impact our profession and personal lives. Like if you don't get the right message, you can do some mistakes, you can make some mistakes. So it's really
I
important to understand,
I just like to I would like to add some points about the video that you show about proactive hearing, proactive communication. It's very important. It's a skill that sometimes I don't see in everyone, but it's very important skill when you see this in someone. Proactive communication. When the people are really paying attention what you are saying, it's a totally different.
yeah. And I believe, yeah, I agree with you. And I think when you pay attention about what other people are saying, it shows respect as well, not just because of the process, because it's really important as well, but it means more than just listen, it means that you are respecting that person or that people, and those people. And it's really good to see that people are hearing you, it's really good to know about it. And as I was saying about how it can impact our personal and professional life, if you get a wrong message, you can make some mistakes, and it can impact all the process, all the whole process. So that's the importance for me about communication, in general. Yeah. And what about you, Sarah? What do you think?
I was reflecting here about flirting because that's a part that really communication matters like a lot, because you can just think that the person is into you, but if you didn't get the message right, you are going to get so disappointed with the reaction, So that's an example I can give with flirting. What else? With family as well, because sometimes you're going to disagree with something, so it's important to explain your opinion. Why do you think the thing should be done in a certain way, and listen as well, like you were saying. And talking about professional life, you have to be convincing, to have confidence to pass your ideas for projects, for instance. And if you just say it in a way that doesn't convince people, you don't have a storytelling, for example, it's something you can use to make your your opinion more interesting and show facts. If you are at a company, they want to know about numbers, they want to know about achievements as well. So you have to know your audience and the tools you can use. So that's what I think communication impacts these two cases, especially your professional life, your development. If you communicate better, they will pay maybe more attention to you. They will know about you and you can grow in your company, for example. So it's very something we can't not worry about. We cannot forget about it. It's really something that can change our career. I truly believe that because I'm in this process and it's been a huge challenge and change for me. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
totally agree. Totally agree. And we can see here that the words have power, Yeah, really nice. Thanks for sharing, Sarah. And what about you, Mr. Philip? What do you think about it?
Oh, this is a very good question, especially because we are talking and we are sharing information and knowledge in an environment that is this place, that is talk and talk. And it was made for exactly this question, to impact personal and professional life. It's not the language, what we are doing. It's not focused on the language. Like the point is, why you're learning a language and what does it affect yourself and people around yourself. So Luis was saying about it, and I feel that when we discuss things like that, like we think about communication, we think about politics, we think about environment, we think about learning, we are using our heads to do something else, like we have eyes, we have hands, we have voice, and what we are doing with that. So we speak, but what does it mean to speak? So that's exactly how communication affects my life. If it's not communication, I would have never done talk and talk. Because basically what I need to do is to sell an idea to other people. People buys it, they buy it, and and then they are here as students, as hosts, as partners, So everything I have been doing, it's about communication, nothing else. It's only communication. So it affects my personal, professional, and other areas of my life. Yeah, that's the impact. And you and Bruno and Luis, you were saying about respect and everything. I really feel that people are here, they want just to speak, but they are not willing to listen. They are not talking, they are just speaking. They're not talking. It's not a talk, it's a speaking session, it's a presentation only. So I'm speaking, I don't care about your reply, your response. I'm just speaking. I'm not gonna listen to you. Even though I'm here paying attention, I'm not listening to you. So I think our job in this platform, in this community, is also to bring awareness to this issue, that is to understand, to have empathy about other people's opinion.
For sure. Good words, man. I completely agree with you. Yeah, really nice words. Thanks for sharing. And I'm gonna ask you something that we are discussing right now, and I think somehow we already answered this, but I want to know why. Do you believe that depending on how you convey your message, there is a chance of misunderstand, and why it happens in your opinion? Go ahead, Mr. Philip.
Yeah, because every person has a world, has experiences, has a lot of things involved. So when you get a message, there are a lot of information in the background that affects the meaning of the message. So it's like the same statement um told 100 years ago, it has another meaning now. So I don't know, any statement, if you say something like in the 50s, it's gonna be really different nowadays. So it really affects the meaning, and misunderstanding is something that it's going to happen. It's going to happen because I'm speaking something, each of you are understanding in a way that's different than what I thought. So there are ways to make it less and to make it more clear, but in general, we are going to be misunderstood somehow. It's going to happen because Bruno has an experience, has thoughts involved. His head is full of things of job, family issues, or friends, or whatever. So it's going to add more information to the message I'm sending. So it's going to happen. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I share the same opinion, and I believe that, for example, depending of the tool that you are using, or maybe about your background, the place that you lived before and you are living right now, it can impact about misunderstanding on communication. I I have an example to share with you. For example, there is at job, for example, we always send messages. We use different tools to send messages. For example, you can make a call, or you can create some email. And I realized that the most part of misunderstanding is because you, for example, you don't there is a lack of maybe information when you send some emails. For example, it is the more common way that people don't understand your message. And sometimes you just need to make a call and set up everything. Fix some misunderstanding. When it happens, when you make a call, for example, I think it's easier to other people understand what you are saying. Yeah, there is some tools that can maximize your understanding, and others not so much. And of course, that is the background that you have. Maybe, as you said, Felipe, maybe you grew up in a different environment, and you have that background, and you are in a other situation that you need to share some opinion, and other people have different opinions about, because they are from other backgrounds. And it can like create a misunderstanding. So in the video, in the final part, I think that it's really important to make sure the other person understood your message. For example, you can say, my opinion is this, and you share the same opinion or not, just to make sure that people understand your message. It's really good to see and to practice it in order to make sure that everything is going to be all right. That's it. What do you think, Luis, about it, man?
Well, I think all you brought some important points, and I would like to add that in almost what Bruno said, it's could be good to call for someone. For example, I use WhatsApp every day in my work, in my job, and WhatsApp, it's very helpful, it's very useful for me, but what we are doing in WhatsApp, we are trying to translate our voice in small messages. We are trying to improve our speed of communication, all right? And okay, it's could be very good and useful. But sometimes when I have the opportunity, I call for the client. I send a message and call, oh, can I call you, please? This could avoid misunderstood because communication, it's like Philip said, it's a package, and your intonation, it's important to speak with someone. And about perspective, every people is one word. Everyone have your own perspective, your way to see and to listen or hear. All right, and that's it. I think I believe that how you send your message uh, could have a misunderstood, but there are some mechanisms that you can use to avoid this. And that's it.
Really great, man. Thanks for sharing, bro. And what about you, Sarah? What do you think about it?
I'm still figuring my answer, but for example, I really like the example of WhatsApp because it's the place where we have informal communication, so it's really likely to happen some misunderstoods. And I was thinking about marketing, email marketing, where you send a message with words, and sometimes people won't engage with your message because you didn't use the right words. For example, the mentorship we have here on Talking Talk, I received an email saying, "Oh, we're gonna make a resume from scratch," and that called my attention. But maybe if the message was just, "Oh, come to a mentorship, we're gonna have some advices," like the title, it could be really unappealing for me. But since I know the person, maybe if it was someone that I don't know in the Talking Talk community, maybe I wouldn't be so interested as well. So when you post your message and you put the name, oh, Philip or Bruna, or someone who has some who is a type of reference for the students, I think that impacts as well. We like to feel closer to someone in the community, not only put the Talking Talk, but put a name, make us feel, connected with you. I think that's really important. So I really like to write something, and I feel always afraid to be misunderstood, especially on LinkedIn, because we have, in my opinion, a lot of fanfics, a lot of stories that are not true, and I try to be realistic when I'm writing because I don't want people to think that I'm not aware of inequality, and that I think, oh, you should just go and do without without looking at lack of opportunities, for example, that we have, the social problems we have, so I really try to choose my words in a way that passes my message without hurting people. And it's really complicated sometimes because, like you said, the interpretation can change from people to people. So we have to stay aware.
Nice. I agree with you. And it's not just about what you said. It's like what. It's not just what you said, but how you say something. Yeah. And depending of the environment, you need to take care of about your words and how the message will be transmitted. Yeah. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for sharing. So I'm gonna make something different right now. I'm gonna not mix, but I will. How can I say? Make a onion. Two different questions in just one. I want to know from you guys, how we can make sure that our message was understood, and do you consider yourself a good communicator? What about you, Sarah? What do you think?
It's really tough to to pass your message. But I would say you have to to put yourself out there and practice. If you don't practice, you're just gonna think that you know how to do it, but when the time comes, you are feeling insecure, unprepared, And what we can do, I think I would like to write my things, to plan, to know the words I'm gonna say, not here so much because I think this is about being prepared for a normal conversation, and in real life we don't write our words to speak with others, but when I have like a presentation or something, an interview, I like to just make a script just to have the main ideas that I can't forget. So for me that works. And about about being a good communicator, I believe in Portuguese. It's way better than in English. I'm working with this as well, but I would like to be more, to have more enthusiasm when I speak. I think sometimes I'm too plain, Some people have the control of the tone of voice, the expressions that connects you more with the speech. So I would like to develop this part as well. I think like the technical part, I study, I can be prepared, I can do a good job, but when talking about body language, it can be improved a lot. That's it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Sarah. What about you, Mr. Philip? What do you think about it?
I do think I'm a I'm a good communicator, not just in Portuguese, in English, in whatever the language. I don't think the language affects too much the communication. You can have poor knowledge of language, but you can be a really good communicator because it's not about vocabulary, it's not about structure, it's not about it involves all of this, but it's not about that. It's like as Sarah said, the enthusiasm, it works smoothly on communication. Like the emotions itself, when you show that in your communication, helps a lot to really communicate better. Everybody speaks fluent Portuguese, but not everybody communicates in Portuguese. We see a lot of families fighting with each other just because of lack of communication in Portuguese. So the idea here on Talk and Talk, it's not about the language to correct your grammar, to help you with, like, we are helping, but not to correct, to say, it's wrong, you're not doing great. No, it's like to support, to advise, to give you help, support on things, but more than that, to make you speak to communicate in a good way, even if you're a beginner. So this week I taught class for intermediates, and I helped people to use some expressions to show dislike in different ways, different forms. So basically, and it's not about grammar, it's just about like synonyms, and sometimes we don't even know in Portuguese. So just like in a nutshell, I'm a good communicator, not because of the language, but because of the ideas, the structure of ideas. That's it, pretty much. Like how you develop your idea, starting the whole process in the middle and then at the end. So that's what makes me a good communicator, in my opinion.
Really nice, man. Thanks for sharing. And what about you, Luis? What do you think about it?
Well, it's very hard to answer this question after all, Hugh. And I don't consider myself a good communicator, and I'm improving this skill. But I don't consider myself. And what we can do with this? Well, Talk and Talk, it's a very good platform to improve your communication, not, as Philippe said, not even in English. We can improve a little bit every day the communication, all the communication skill, not in English, in a language like English. Or, well, I don't consider myself a good communicator. I think I don't have this skill good as I would like, but sometimes I think about creativity. All right, I think sometimes I have a good creativity to tell stories. And this could be good. Sometimes I think that I'm good in tell stories. Sometimes I add some points in a story, but there's no problem. I thought that I'm adding points in a story, and we keep communication like this, and this could be good and funny, and that's it.
Nice, man. Nice words. Yeah. So in my case, I believe that, you know, I agree with what you all have said about sometimes emotions can make some noise, you know. I mean, it can be something that interrupts you when you are trying to pass some message, you know, or send some message. And in my case, yeah, I believe that I'm in the middle of the process, you know. I believe that I can be better if I training more, you know. Sometimes for example, I'm not so I'm not so directly at the point, you know. I sometimes I try to show some scenario to 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 make sure that people understand, and sometimes you don't need to do this kind of thing, you know. You just need to go directly at the point, and that's it, you know. But yeah, but I'm not so bad as well, I think. But I believe that we all can improve our skills if we want, you know, and if we see that it is important for our daily basis, our daily life, you know. And then, yeah, and to make sure that people understand my message, I try to ask them if they understand or not, you know, and if it is clear or not, you know, because sometimes because of different sources, you can not pass your message in the way that you want, you know, and make people confused about it. But to make sure that they understand, I just ask, and you will see, uh, you know, you will observe from their attitudes, gestures, sometimes emotion, you know, that they will show you. You will realize that they understand or not the message. That's it, you know. And let me see. I think that we have time to answer just one more. And let me see. Let me see. Do you have any advice for improving this skill? In my opinion, just practice. You know, put yourself uh, in a position that you need to do something to improve this skill. You know, I don't know, maybe talk more. You know, with people, and you will feel that people understand or not your message. So you need to practice. It's like a workout. You know, you need to work out daily, and you will see the improvement day by day, you know. That's it. And what about you, Luis? What do you think, man?
Well, sometimes I'm here and I feel a little bit afraid to speak, but I'm just go ahead. All right. I think Sarah said something about this. We are speaking, it's more difficult to choose the words, but We are trying to improve. We are here we are in a good environment to improve, to try. Sometimes we can make some mistake, but that's it. Go ahead. It's a good advice. And you, Sarah?
Yeah, like I said before about writing the things you want to say to not forget the important points. And maybe record yourself to see how you look like. Maybe it can help.
Nice. Thanks, Sarah. And what about you, Mr. Philip?
I think it's like practice and think about the structure itself. Like it's like an essay when you are a child that a teacher asks you, oh, do you an essay composition with the title and start, develop, and finish. So I think all the ideas, all communication needs to have that link between ideas. If you know how to connect the dots, then you are going to practice much better. And that's like when you become a host, that's exactly what we do. We have a script that follows like a start, a middle, and the end. So you start, there's something, in the middle, there's something, and then in the end. So it's pretty much that. And I have been following this script every time I do a presentation, I have a call, I have a meeting, I use the same method, the same as we do here. It's the same. And then you just practice.
Really nice, man. Thanks for sharing. And welcome back, everyone. I want to know from you guys, how was the conversation? How are you feeling about it? So, Mr. Thiago, can you tell us how was the conversation?
It was an enjoyable time with my conversation partners. It was great. We had a lot of discussion, and I guess we had good communication. And I think the main point of this communication thing is try to not transform communication into miscommunication. Try to keep it clear and objective and direct to make it easier to other people understand us. And it is very important right now because we are trying to learn and improve our English. So sometimes we have this gap of communication because we are not totally familiar with with English. So it was a very wise, clever choice to stop. So congratulations.
Thanks for sharing, man, and good words. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And what about you, Ayla? How was the conversation for you?
You are so good. You are so good. It's very interesting subject, but it's difficult to talk about it. And I think it's more important to about this to pay attention, and I'm a good speaker, and to avoid miscommunication, and it's good to be careful when I talking to you, when I waiting message as well. It's very important because we need the communication all the time to do everything, and it's very important to pay attention how I may do this. How, yeah.
Really nice, Ayla. Thanks for sharing. Guys, I just want to say that one thing that I shared some links here in the chat, and the first one is about our survey. So please go there, give your note, rate us there, because we need to know what about the project, you know, the meeting, if you like or not, and if you have some suggestions, you know, to do, please go there. And the second one is about our YouTube channel. So please go there if you want to watch the meeting again, and hit that thumbs up. And the last one is about our site. So if you want to practice another language, you know, and improve your list of languages, you can go there and apply for another one. And for sure, it will be a pleasure for us to receive you, you know, in our community for one more language to learn. And I want to ask you the last one question. This is a polemic question, you know. I want to ask for
Yeah.
for Sarah. Sarah, I want to know from you, who are more effective on communication skills, woman or man, and why?
Oh my gosh. You always put these questions polemic at the end. I would say maybe men are more straight to the point, but as a woman, I cannot say that men are better at anything. So I'm sorry, guys. I would say it depends on your preparation, on the subject. I wouldn't say it depends on your gender. I don't think that affects how effective your communication is. Maybe men are more straight to the point in family situations, but women can work better in, I don't know, with business. I'm not choosing sides. Sorry.
Okay, good
Just
words, good
sharing
words.
my opinion.
Really nice. Guys, I invited you to the next meeting on Saturday, so please come. Don't let me alone here, you know. So, and it was a pleasure to be here with you guys. I hope you have enjoyed the conversation, the meeting, and have you all a wonderful weekend, and see you in the next Saturday, guys. Bye bye. Thank you for this time, and see you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Good
Bye
weekend.
bye.
Bye,
Have a
guys.
nice weekend.
See you.
See you.